Good evening and welcome to our council meeting, Monday, May 11th. I'd like to welcome everybody, and we do have a full council. If you would, please stand, and the pledge will be led by Councilman Luke Arbizo, and the invocation will be led by Councilwoman Alma Flores. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. As we gather tonight to conduct the business of the City of Safford, let us remember the importance of serving our community with respect, fairness, and integrity. May the conversations remain productive, the decisions responsible, and the actions guided by professionalism and mutual respect. With appreciation for the opportunity to serve, let us begin tonight's meeting. Amen.
Thank you. We'll start off with on number 5. We have any citizen comments on agenda items?
Yes, we have a total of 4 comments on agenda items. The first one will be from Mr. Jacob Delstra. You can please approach the podium and state your first and last name, and you'll have 3 minutes.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Jacob Dahlstrom. I'm the Regional Director for Lifeline Ambulance. We're the ambulance service that's currently providing service for the city of Safford and the surrounding communities. So Lifeline Ambulance is part of GMR, Global Medical Response. We're the largest ambulance provider in the country. We've been serving Safford for over 40 years. We provide both 911 and interfacility transports for ALS and BLS patients. We currently have 23 employees, most of whom live in this community. We are 100% compliant with our standards set forth by the Department of Health, DHS, for EMS response within the city. We currently have a partnership with Mount Graham Regional Medical Center. We've had a long relationship with them. They are our base hospital, and what that means is they provide all of our medical direction. They provide our patient care guidelines. They provide our medications. Our medical director is Dr. Hargis. He's an ER physician. He's also the chief of staff of the hospital, and he has complete oversight of our services that we provide here in Safford. Mount Graham Regional Medical Center, like I said, has been a long partner with us. And so we're a little bit surprised that they're putting in a request to put in for an ambulance service. We've requested multiple times to meet with their leadership, and we've been denied that request. So considering the direct involvement that Mount Graham Regional Medical Center has with Lifeline and providing services in Safford, I question their reasoning for wanting to add an additional ambulance service. We want to continue to work and partner with Mount Graham Regional Medical Center and continue to provide a good service for Safford and the surrounding communities. Lifeline Ambulance is committed to providing excellent care for Safford, and we've invested quite a bit of resources. In the last 2 years, we've updated our fleet of ambulances. This year alone, we spent $250,000 on new ambulances. We're pursuing building a new station for our EMS crews. We're currently in the process of upgrading our radio system to improve communication across the county. Being a part of Global Medical Response means that we have ambulances across the state that can help serve this community. So we have ambulances in Phoenix, we have ambulances in Cochise County, and in Pima County that regularly come and support emergency response here in the Safford community. Unlike the hospital Lifeline, we are not subsidized by the taxpayers. We only bill for our services if you utilize our service. So with all that being said, I urge the council to continue to support Lifeline Ambulance in our operation here in Safford. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, next we have Ms. Kim Martin. If you could please approach the podium.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Kim Martin, as she has said before. Let me start off with, for the past 4 years, our family has gathered together at the for a golf tournament in lieu of my grandfather, who started the golf course. This golf course means a lot more to us than just a place to play golf. It represents family, tradition, opportunities, and community. I feel strongly that the golf course is one of the many reasons why we need a city manager who truly understands how to manage and preserve important community assets like this. My grandfather helped start this golf course, and so it carries a deep personal meaning for my family and for many people in our community. Because of the golf course, my brother was able to grow as a golfer and went on to win state for the local high school. Many years later, my son also had the same opportunity to compete there, and he also won a tournament there on the same course. That just shows how important these community spaces are across our generation. A strong city manager should recognize the values of these places that bring people together, build youth programs, and create opportunities and leave lasting memories for our families. The golf course is more than just land and grass. It is a part of our city's history and a part of our family's heritage. This is why I feel that Eric is the person for the job, because he understands this and he fits the job perfectly. Thank you.
Mayor, next we have Mrs. Sharon Gill.
Good evening, guests and City Council. My name is Sharon Owens Gale. I live 1 block south of the hospital, and we have lived there for 40 years. I, again, am addressing the council in support of Mr. Bejarano, a candidate I feel should be selected to be our city manager. My husband and I own 8 apartments in the city, and my family has had a business in Safford for over 70 years. Am I concerned about the growth and progress of our city? You better believe it. Mr. Bejarano has helped develop and monitor a 5-year capital improvement plan in his last employment. Do we need that now? Absolutely. We are in the hub of housing shortages, and I know, because I have apartments, I have calls daily. And we have a shortage because of the mine expansion. So what is the city's plan to address this need to attract builders, to attract construction? We need a plan. Mr. Bejarano has shown wisdom in setting priorities for structuring policies and monitoring utilities to ensure we can meet the supply and demand needed for our increased population, while facing the extreme drought that has been such a part of our city and Arizona. He has proven his success in making good business decisions, so he can format a plan to encourage business expansion, which in turn helps all of us through tax revenue. As our manager faces these challenges, he must allow budgets to allow coverage for the huge increase in fuel. We must act quickly and without an error in judgment. Time is of the essence. Eric is the man for the job. Thank you.
Mayor, next we have Mrs. Mary Bingham.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Mary Bingham. I live at 2006 West 18th Street. I'm here again tonight not to talk too much about how qualified Eric is or what a great city manager he would be, but to address you, Council, on some matters that tie into this. When I was a newly elected city council member, I served for 6.5 years till I resigned to run for the Graham County Treasurer. We were faced with some major problems. The then city manager told us that within the next 3 years, the city of Safford would be facing bankruptcy due to some bad policy decisions made by the majority of the previous council. Hard decisions had to be made due to mismanagement, unchecked spending, and unnecessary programs. Did the 7 of us council members agree on everything? No, we didn't. But we agreed to disagree, and we were friends afterwards. I believe the past city manager encouraged division, animosity, and distrust within the council, within the senior leadership of city personnel, as well as the public, just as he did with our neighboring communities and partners. I have literally never seen anything like it. It also came to my attention that he has been involved behind the scenes with some council members as well as some senior staff to try and undermine the appointment of Eric as our new city manager. Hopefully that's not true, but if it is, it's pretty pathetic and unethical on the part of whoever was involved. I truly believe the decision you're going to make tonight is a major one, and if it's not awarding the city manager's position to Eric, then I believe our city, as well as us residents, are going to suffer financially. I also believe the morale of our employees will get a boost having Eric as their manager. Anyone who has been following this saga for the past several months know that Eric is the right candidate for the job and the most qualified. We need someone who is not only trustworthy, but honest as well. Nothing against the other 2 candidates, but if you take all 3 names off of the published resumes and compare them side by side, there shouldn't even be a question that Eric is the one for this job. In my opinion, the time Eric has spent as our interim manager was a test, and again, in my opinion, he's passed it with flying colors. And in closing, I want to thank you for allowing me to address you. I'm also anxious to see how the vote is going to go and would like to ask each of you, if and when you do vote, to tell us why you voted the way you did. I believe the voters, as well as Eric, deserves to know that. Thank you.
Mayor, that completes all the comments on agenda items. Next, we have the non-agenda items. We have Vance Bryce.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Vance Bryce with the Graham County Chamber of Commerce. Our next board meeting is Wednesday, May 27th at 1 p.m. Our next mixture is Thursday, May 28th at 5 p.m. That one's going to be an introduction to what the moonshot competition is. That's a pitch competition, a lot like Shark Tank, where local businesses can talk about a new idea in front of a panel of professional judges and be awarded funding for that idea. So it's a grant. It's not a loan. It's a grant that I guess it's an award that they earn in that competition. That competition is being put on with our partners at Eastern Arizona College Small Business Development Center, and that will be July 23rd. We are in need of 2 board members, 7 leadership committee members, and several membership committee members. We're recruiting pretty heavily there. Camilla Gary, our staff assistant, put in her 2 weeks ago, so this is our first day without her, which was awful. A lot of phones and a lot of people coming in today. We did interview quite a few people today, and we have more interviews this week. So we have an opening for that position. Gila Valley 250 celebration plans continue. If you have any opinions on that, go ahead and shoot me a text or an email. And you can also email our whole chamber team at help@grahamchamber.org. So for ribbon cuttings, this week is busy, and next week we have one as well. So Town Place Suites by Marriott is having a ribbon cutting on Tuesday. There's a 5 p.m. ribbon cutting for that. Suds Up Laundromat in Pima, their ribbon cutting is on Thursday, and their ribbon cutting is at 4. That one's also, they've recruited a bunch of vendors. It's a block party. It's a whole event going on in Pima that they've been able to pull off. So that's going to be really fun. American Southwest Credit Union in Thatcher, that's Friday, May 15th at 9 a.m. So it's a 9 a.m. ribbon cutting. And then next week on Saturday, the opening day for the Pima Pool, they're going to celebrate their renovation. So they receive funding from the Arizona Parks grant and from Freeport and from United Way to get that done. So it's a big celebration of everyone coming together and making that pool better. So that ribbon cutting is from 12 to 5 p.m. with a 1 p.m. ribbon cutting. Down at the bottom, you can always find our contact information on our website. And there's also a full Gila Valley calendar of events. If you are on there and you see something that's missing, give us a chat. They're either not yet a chamber member or we've missed something. So thank you so much for all you do in service to the community and for your support of the Graham County Chamber of Commerce.
Anybody else?
That's all the comments, Mayor.
Okay, then we're going to close our regular meeting and convene into executive session.
Mayor, I move we move into executive session.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second to convene into executive session. All in favor? Okay. Going to close the executive session and reconvene into our regular meeting. Item number 10, new business. Discussion and possible action regarding the selection of a preferred candidate for the position of city manager, establishing compensation to be offered, and authorizing the city attorney and human resources to extend a conditional offer of employment and begin contract negotiations with the selected finalists.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is a request for the council to select a preferred finalist for the city manager position. Recommend a wage to be offered and authorize the city attorney and HR to extend a conditional offer and begin contract negotiations. The city manager recruitment process has progressed through application screening, structured evaluations, and formal council interviews. Staff recommends that council select a preferred candidate, identify the wage to be offered, and authorize the city attorney and HR to extend a conditional offer and begin contract negotiations. Once negotiations are complete and the candidate has accepted the position, the final employment agreement will be brought to council for approval or modification.
It's an action item.
I move to select interim city manager Eric Bejarano from the finalist pool and to establish a wage of $172,000 to be offered for the city manager position. I further move to authorize the city attorney and human resources to extend a conditional offer of employment and begin contract negotiations with Mr. Bejarano. Upon completion of the negotiations, the final employment agreement will be brought back to council for approval or modifications.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Oh, I got to do a roll call
Oh,
vote.
that's right.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a motion and a second to select Eric Bejarano as the new city manager. I will do a roll call vote, starting with mayor, then vice mayor, and then the next council members. Mayor, are you in favor?
Yes.
Vice mayor, are you in favor?
Yes.
Councilman McGoy, are you in favor?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bratner, are you in favor?
Yes.
Councilman Hemphill, are you in favor?
Yes.
Councilwoman Flores, are you in favor?
Yes.
And Councilman Ariza, are you in favor?
Yes.
That's a unanimous vote on the roll call vote, Mayor. Eric Bejarano is now selected as your new city manager.
City manager, would you have a few words? Want to say a few words?
Thank you, Mayor, Council, and I come to the podium because half of the room is blocked from me, and I also think this blocks the cool air from coming my way. But, so I was never a Boy Scout, but I do like their motto, be prepared. The Marine Corps motto probably wasn't fitting in this situation to adapt and improvise. So I wrote something thinking the odds of 33.3% may play in my favor this evening since we had 3 candidates. And I was hoping, if you do the math, and keep in mind I'm a Marine, that I was at 33.4% that would get that vote from council. So nonetheless, Mayor and Council, thank you so much for believing in me, placing your trust in me, and for allowing me the opportunity to help lead our city forward as the next city manager for the city of Safford. The last several months have not been easy for many people, especially for those of you seated up at the dais tonight. The decision you made this evening is an important one, not only for the city of Safford and its residents, but for the entire Gila Valley. I recognize the weight of that responsibility, and I am truly, truly honored and humbled by your confidence in me. To my family, and I'll try not to get choked up on this one because they're sitting right here, especially my wife, Trinity, thank you for your love, patience, and support. It was probably, 3 or 4 years ago, she thought I might be finished with public service, but yet here we are. So thank you for staying by my side and my support for 32 years. You've put up with a lot, so thank you. You understand, the rest of my family, you understand the sacrifices that come with public service and leadership. and I could not do this without all of you. So thank you for being here. To our employees who are in the audience and probably watching tonight, if not, they'll watch. Thank you for continuing to serve our community every single day. I've seen firsthand the dedication and the heart that exists throughout this organization. I look forward to continuing to work alongside each and every one of you. To the other candidates and applicants for this position, thank you for your interest in leading our community. I wish each of you the very best moving forward. And finally, to our community, thank you so much for your support, the comments on social media, the conversations out in the community. It has been truly been humbling, and I truly appreciate it. I don't typically comment on social posts, but I wish I could, just to thank each and every one of you. So I have an opportunity right now to do it. So thank you not only to those that took the time to come up and speak to our council and voice your concerns in support of me, but again, to those in the social media world, because social media can be cruel. And I understand that one day may be my turn, but so much for the conversations and support as well. With that, I encourage each of you to continue sharing your ideas, your concerns, your vision with us as we move the city of Safford forward together. It's important to me that we always treat people with respect, work towards solutions, and focus on making a positive difference rather than simply pointing out the problems. We have work ahead of us, but I truly believe we can accomplish great things together. So let's continue to get out, get involved, make the city of Safford and the Gila Valley great. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you.
You can move your chair over a little bit.
Were you gonna take 5 minutes, sir?
We're going to take 10-minute break.
10 minutes.
You want
10.
10? Okay. So go ahead and just.
We'll keep on going with our meeting. We'll move on to item number 2. Everybody have a chance to review the minutes of our April 27th council meeting? Any changes?
Mayor, I move that we approve the minutes for April 27th, 2026.
Motion and second to approve the minutes of April 27th, 2026 meetings. All in favor? Opposed? And we'll move on to item number 11. Number 1, that's the 14th Avenue pavement rehabilitation from Highway 70 to 8th Street, and award a contract number ST 2501.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. This is a request from Mayor and City Council to award a construction contract to WW Clyde and Company from Apache Junction, Arizona for the 14th Avenue Pavement Rehabilitation Project. This is between Highway 70 and just south of 8th Street. The strategic goals are infrastructure maintenance. This project is funded by the HERF, Autolieu, and sales tax funds with a budget amount of $325,000. The 14th Avenue Pavement Rehabilitation Project will consist of milling 2 inches of existing asphalt, replacing with 2 inches of new asphalt from Highway 70 to just south of 8th Street. The project was advertised and bidders solicited in accordance with ARS formal bidding procedures. A notice for an invitation to bid was published in the local newspaper, and a pre-bid conference was held on April 22nd. And it was attended by 2 prospective bidders. On April 30th, 2026, City Clerk received 3 bids that were publicly read with the following results. WW Clyde and Company at $252,514.05. Sunland Asphalt and Construction LLC at $398,460.10. And KE&G Construction Inc. at $299,194. The 14th Avenue Pavement Rehabilitation Project is in the city's capital improvement plan for this year, 2026. Again, our budget for this project was $325,000, and WW Clyde was a low bid at $252,514.05. Staff has found that the lowest bid submitted by WW Clyde and Company is the lowest responsive bidder and is qualified to complete the work as specified for this project. Therefore, staff has recommended the contract award for the construction of the 14th Avenue Pavement Rehabilitation Project to WW Clyde and Company in the amount of $252,514.05, and allow the city manager or his designee to execute contract change orders not to exceed 10% of the contract value if in the best interests of the city. And I stand for any questions.
Are you stopping south of the railroad tracks, north of the railroad tracks?
Yes, Mayor, Vice Mayor Lopez. Yeah, just south of 8th. And I believe it's in between the canal and 8th Street. Yes, you can see, if you drive out there, you can see
See it.
we just actually oiled it a couple weeks ago, so it's pretty apparent.
Is there any need to upgrade any drainage in there?
Mayor and council, no, I don't believe drainage needs to be updated.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Anybody else?
Mayor, I move that we approve the 14th Avenue Pavement Rehabilitation Contract to WW Clyde and Company.
Second.
Okay, well, motion and a second to approve the 14th Avenue pavement rehabilitation and award the contract to WW Clyde and Company. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Okay, now we'll close our regular meeting and convene into a work session. Number 1, the Mount Carmel Regional Medical Center Certificate of Necessity. Eric?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Eric Bejarano. I think my new title is Preferred Candidate City Manager. I'm not sure. Anyhow, Eric Bejarano. Mayor and Council, this is a request for Mayor and Council to host a work session for Danny Smith, the VP and Chief Marketing and Community Relations Officer of Mount Graham Regional Medical Center, on their quest to seek the Certificate of Necessity, or the CON, for Graham County. Little background: Arizona regulates ground ambulance services through a CON, or Certificate of Necessity, administered by the Arizona Department of Health Services. The system is designed to ensure consistent and adequate emergency medical services, particularly in rural communities such as Graham County. Danny Smith is here to present information to the Mayor and Council on behalf of Mount Graham Regional Medical Center regarding its intent to pursue a Certificate of Necessity for expanded ambulance services in Graham County, and to request a letter of support from the City of Safford to assist with the process through the Arizona Department of Health Services. Staff does recommend the approval of a letter of support for Mount Graham Regional Medical Center to seek the CON for Graham County. Mayor and Council, I'd like to invite to the podium Mr. Danny Smith.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Mayor, Council. My name is Danny Smith. I live at 350 Cochise Street here in Safford, Arizona for the last 30 years and the last 54 years here in Safford. I have the unique privilege of representing Mount Graham Regional Medical Center, your community-owned hospital. It was just downtown here, down the street, about 53 years ago when the members of the City Council, members of the Chamber of Commerce, members of the business community, the healthcare community came together and decided to take on a hospital, which was a brave ideal back then. There wasn't a building in Graham County meant to be a hospital in those days. And where I was born in the early 70s. So here we are this much later. We believe that Graham County could be better served with more ambulance service. We believe we could do a very good job. We are going to apply to the Arizona Department of Health Services for a Certificate of Necessity, as Eric mentioned. Whether that's an additional one or a replacement one will be up to Department of Health Services. We come to this kicking and screaming. We feel like it's our obligation and we feel like it's our responsibility to take the best care that we can provide for our City of Safford, our Graham County citizens. We've been looking at this for a year. I know that as a community, we meet with AMR quarterly, and for the last 20 years. Kyle Lyons, Sabrina, we meet quarterly and talk about the needs and how what we could do better to offer better ambulance service here. And we believe there's some holes, and that we would do a good job at Mount Graham Regional Medical Center. We expect to gather 25 or 30 letters of support from the entities here in the Valley. I know that 3 years ago when AMR Lifeline wanted to reduce or wanted to amend their CON and reduce their response time or reduce the level of care on their ambulance, their ability here, and or reduce the number of ambulances available. I remember being on the County Board of Supervisors, sending letters to DHS asking them to not allow that, but to maintain the care that we had back then. And I remember Mayor Thatcher and others writing letters. And unfortunately, we were unsuccessful in asking DHS to not allow AMR to amend their CON. Here we are a year later, or 3 years later or so, and we think that there's a real need. We're planning an ambulance station along with 3 ambulances and staffing those ambulances from the hospital. We, of course, will have to work with Graham County and dispatch out of Graham County Dispatch, which is different than what happens right now. Do you have any questions for me, or do you have any questions for the folks from AMR?
Danny, I have
Yeah.
one. If you're successful in this, will you continue to provide the cooperative elements that you do to Lifeline, that the hospital currently does?
Yeah, if we have a scenario where there's two CONs, like if we had an overlay CON, yeah, we would absolutely have to work together, continue as the hospital work together with AMR Lifeline.
Is it more likely that there will only be one CON?
Well, we would find out, right? So there's no certainty that we'll be successful in getting a CON, getting an additional CON, or there's no certainty in what would happen if there would just be one, whether it be us or AMR, as I understand it.
Thank you.
You say you're going to utilize the county dispatch, and that's different than what's being utilized now?
Well, as I understand it, so at Graham County, 911 call comes into Graham County, and then AMR has their own dispatch out of Tucson, or I'm not sure where it's out of. And then they'll dispatch their ambulance here in Graham County. We don't have our own dispatch. We would rely on Graham County and work with Graham County. They would buy an extra module for their software, and they would need some additional training for their dispatchers to be able to dispatch out of Graham County's dispatch.
Could you tell us what some of the positive benefits would be from this? What would the citizens gain?
Well, right now, what we experience is that with 2 or 3 ambulances, 1 or 2 may be gone out of county on a trip to Tucson. We have a few million acres here in Graham County. You can have a call on the east side of the county or out in Klondike or out in Bonita with one ambulance that is in service that is here on, and the next call might be 45 minutes away. There are specific examples that I'd be happy to share with you individually where I don't think the response time was great at all. It was terrible, and we hope to improve upon that.
So would you guys be working on trying to have more ambulances available at all time?
Well, we would have 3 ambulances available at all time.
But you still have to do transports though too.
What's that?
You still would have to do a transport to Tucson.
Yeah, we would. Now, if we had an overlay CON, if we both had a CON, well, then we would have that much more ambulance service available here. Yeah. I mean, a call to Tucson takes an ambulance out of service for 4 or 5 hours from here to Phoenix, 6 or 8 hours or more from here.
Remember, I worked the streets.
Yeah.
And in those incidents where I was the only one.
Yeah. So if you're in law enforcement here, you know what that's like, and what it's been like most recently. Yep. So, in your letter of support that we're asking for your support to DHS to consider us, to allow us to have a CON and add to the service here.
That's mainly the ask, is for you to look into it.
Yes, we're not asking for money or anything like that. We have, you own the hospital. The district owns the property. The district, sure, we have a tax district, but we haven't gone back to the voters and asked for any money since about 1984.
Would this come back as an action item?
Mayor and Councilman Hemphill, yes, if that's the direction of the consensus from the council, would be that a staff member would bring this back for a formal vote.
So is the letter you're looking for, are you looking for just support to add on or to replace, or what specifically?
You can
are
word
you
it how
looking
you'd
for?
like. We would like better ambulance service here in Graham County. Additional ambulance service, better ambulance service. Yeah.
But you're talking having 3 ambulances yourself.
Right.
And they already have at least that many?
But if one went to Phoenix, you would still have 3 here, you're saying,
Right.
at all times? No matter if one's in Phoenix, one's
Oh,
in
and
Tucson?
we would still be sending them out of town also to Tucson and Phoenix, transferring patients.
So would that bring us to the same issue that they're having, where you're sending one to Phoenix and there's one of your 3 gone, and now you're only gonna have 2 and then possibly 1? If someone has to go to
Well,
Tucson?
they can, I don't remember. Do you, in your CON, do you have to have 2 ready here or 3? Or do you know? Okay.
Mayor, sorry to interrupt. The audio's not picked up unless you're speaking directly into the mic. So if I could ask you to respond at the mic, please? At the podium, please. Thank you.
So currently, we have 3 ambulances, and we have an on-call ambulance, so we have 4 ambulances that are available. But to answer your question directly, right, it doesn't matter if we do it with 3 ambulances or if the hospital does it with 3 ambulances. The big issue that we face is the hospital doesn't have all the capabilities of a larger hospital in a metropolitan area. So patients have to be transported out of Mount Graham Regional Medical Center to Phoenix or to Tucson, and that ties up ambulances, right? So to your point directly, if we have 3 ambulances or if the hospital has 3 ambulances and they're on out-of-town transports, transporting patients, interfacility transports, there'll be less ambulances available. But what I can say, and like I said, GMR, we bring ambulances from Tucson, we bring ambulances from Cochise County to help augment and do those transports, so we always have ambulances in the county to service the county. And I think that's probably the difference, is that we have those resources available in southern Arizona, across Arizona, that we bring to this community. So I hope that answers your question.
Anybody else? I guess I'd like to know, is there enough business for both of you?
Well, we would like to find out, and we feel it's our responsibility to find out in order to improve ambulance service here.
What I would say, we want to work collaboratively with the hospital. And again, I don't understand what the concerns have been. We tried to reach out to the CEO to get an explanation exactly what the concerns is, but we're happy to add more ambulances if that's what the hospital needs. And so I think we need to have that discussion probably offline. And I look forward to that discussion. But to answer your question directly, there's a cost of staffing ambulances, and it costs around $1 million per ambulance to staff it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365, right? So, but we want to work collaboratively with the hospital to make sure that we're meeting their needs so that we can do the interfacility transports and provide 911 service. So, does that answer your question?
There.
Okay.
Anybody else? I'd like to see this come back as an action item.
Yes, Mayor. We'll bring it back as an action item.
Any more comments?
All right, we appreciate your support. Thank you, Mayor, Council.
Thank you, Danny.
Okay, then we'll close the work session and reconvene into our regular meeting. Financial reports for September, October, November, and December of last year. PCAR report.
Mayor and Council, these are the P-card reports for October. We already presented this in November at a previous meeting. We just noticed that we missed October, so we're going back. And then December 2025, and then it's also revenue over 5,000 and expenses over 5,000 for November and December.
Anybody have any questions? If not, I'd just like to make a statement about this. I would like to have a work session on this P-card thing. Heaven's sakes, we're talking about December and way back when. And I'm not that interested in, 25 cents being spent at Home Depot or Stafford Builders. I have faith in our supervisors. So I'd like to have a work session on this.
Mayor, I'll work with Eric and staff in getting something put together.
I'm glad you want to discuss it further because 25 cents ain't a whole lot, but I do still want the 25 cents spent in Safford. And so that'll be part of what I'm glad to be able to talk about.
Anybody else?
Okay, thank you, Mayor, Council.
Okay, then we'll move on to item number 16, announcement of current events.
Mayor, I do have a quick one for next Monday's council meeting. Well, it was supposed to be just a regular work session because it's not a regular council meeting Monday. But with the one being canceled for Memorial Day, our items have kind of shifted for action items next Monday. So just letting the council know if you would like to plan on attending, there is action items. It's not just a work session. And that's for next Monday, the 18th.
Thank you. Okay, then item 17, request for future agenda items.
Mayor, I have one. And if Bill's still listening, maybe he can help me to make sure I don't do this wrong, because I know we've recently discussed the right way, and maybe we're not doing the right way to request an e-session. So I don't think I'm requesting the e-session, but I'm requesting that we put it on the agenda to have to request the e-session. Does that sound more accurate, B?
Mayor and Councilman Hempfield, just depends on what the topic would be, if it would be something that qualifies for an executive session.
Right. Okay.
But
So
if
I'm
you-
requesting an e-session for the
Oh,
lead.
Mr.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, it sounds like Bill was trying to.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I apologize. I actually have my technology working so you can hear me. It's perfectly appropriate for you as part of future agenda items to ask for an e-session, so it is appropriate. Now ask your question and B and I will figure it out.
Okay. I'd like to request an e-session for legal advice on ramifications of a potential staff resignation and proper application of our code of ethics.
Okay? That's appropriate for an e-session. I don't want to name the individual, but I think we can have that discussion in e-session, yes.
And does it need to be brought back to an agenda to have the second council
Oh, no.
member?
No, you just did it.
Oh.
You asked for it in this meeting, and so we're gonna put it on.
Okay.
And if it needs a second person, I'll be that second person. I don't know how that works.
I believe Bill said that this is sufficient for Councilman Hempfield to request it. during
Yes.
this.
Thank you, Bill.
Anybody else?
I just want to tell everybody, and I've been asked to also, those that are watching us on the internet and stuff, all the information that we are given by the clerk to study and be prepared for these meetings, you too can see them online. You can go to our site. If you don't know how exactly, you can contact the clerk's office. They will show you how to go to that site and be able to see the information so that you can follow along, and it's not just necessarily the couple pages that we get when we come in. And I think you'll find it more interesting. Thank you.
Anybody else? We'll move on to item number 18.
Mayor, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion, a second to adjourn. All in favor? Opposed?